firstly, I want to say that a lot of people have pointed out my mistake that a decade after 1920 is 1930 and not 1921. What I meant is a decade after my film 1920. So I should have put it a decade after my feature film in Hindi 1920.
That came out in 2008.
2008 comes now 1920. What it means is that I have now. What is a franchise? A franchise means that you tell the audience what to expect in the film. It means that the audience, even before seeing the promo, says, "Oh, it's going to be this kind of a film." That's what a franchise means. Of course, this is not the 1920 franchise and has got nothing to do with it, but it's a similar franchise. So what is 1921? 1921 is going to have beautiful locations in a Victorian setting. It's going to have a fabulous love story. It's got great music, and it's got horror, and it's got fear. So it's a story of love and a story of fear, which was 1920, which is now 1921. So one is trying to tell the audience that this is the experience that you can expect. Actually, we were shooting in this place called Wentworth Woodhouse, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted locations in the UK, which we did not know. Apparently, there's a show called The Most Haunted, which had actually done 2 episodes on that location, and they actually caught a ghost on camera. You can go on YouTube and see it. So, actually, I've just tweeted right now about, there's an image that my stuntman caught of an actual spirit while we were scouting. We did not see that spirit, but the camera caught it. One thing that happened to me late at night was we were shooting from 2 to 2. And there is this huge hall there with pillars, quite a scary hall, where they say that you can see an apparition of a man without a head, or like a headless apparition. And we were shooting across the hall, and to go to the toilets, one had to cross the hall at night. Now, I have my man Friday, who's extremely diligent and thinks I need him everywhere. So I was going to the loo, and I tried to, tell him that there are some things I can manage. So he stayed back. I thought he stayed back. But as I was walking down the hall, I could hear him coming behind me, and I said, forget it, this guy doesn't learn. So when I reached the toilets, I turned around to tell him that from here on, at least let me manage. So I turned around, and he was not there. He hadn't come. I don't know what those footsteps were that were following me down the hall. But let me tell you, it was the quickest piss I ever had in my life. And I was back on location being a director, trying to act cool as if nothing is happening.
I don't think it's like that, I mean, there is a huge section of the population that loves horror genre as a genre, whether it be a movie or whether it be a show on TV. I think horror has the maximum fan following. Anything that is not real, which people feel are not real, somehow some people also feel that horror is not real, and I think that's why it has a major fan following. But the problem is, not a lot of people know how to make it correctly, because sometimes if a horror is not rightly made, it can turn into comedy, and that is when people try to find the technicalities and all of that and that. But if a film is well made with all the logic and reasoning behind it, then I really think people like the genre a lot.
Oh, it was fabulous. That's how she is. She's always giggling. I think we met for the first time properly on the set of 1921, and we got along really well. whatever notions I had about Zareen got thrown out of the window, and she's just.
I'd really like to know the notions later.
This is a definitely.
वो तो हमने एक दूसरे के मुंह पे भी बोल दिया है.
Yeah, now
So what was the notion?
No, I mean, not notion particularly about Zareen, but she's this big star, and she's worked in so many films with such big actors. So I've seen, I do a lot of interviews with people, starlets, and they have a certain
Head not on their shoulder.
something is off about a lot of people, but Zareen is just like one of us. She's like
इसको मेरे बारे में चीजें ऑफ नहीं लगी.
हाँ मतलब वो see this is what she
See,
is. That's how she
what
is.
this means is when you're in a hole, stop digging.